Back with you now tonight here on the news feed. Late night, your reporting continues. Johannesburg Mayor Geoff Makhubo warned councillors that more will be demanded from them post the pandemic. He made the comments during his State of the City address ahead of October's local government elections. In 2016, no party managed to win the country's economic hub outright, and coalition governments have been in place since then. Now, to talk more on this, I'm joined by the City Mayor for Johannesburg Mayor Geoff Makhubo. Mayor, good evening, and thank you very much for your time tonight here on the news feed late night. So you presented what the state of the city is currently, and much of what you cited was also around the levels of corruption in the city at this particular point. Many are saying, Mayor, give us a reason why we must believe you that you are actually going to deal with corruption in the way that you are saying you will.
Thank you very much, Tabo. Good evening to the viewers. The speech covered a range of issues from what we think is the state of the city to the disrupted transformation agenda. You referred to 2016, and we do reflect that 2016 was not just a disruption in the change of political power, but the continuous transformation agenda of Johannesburg was certainly disturbed and disrupted. And of course, then COVID-19 was another disruption, very, very, very major disruption that not only affected the transformation agenda, but the economy as well, the way we do things, the way we greet, we say it disturbed even the social equilibrium of the city. So in trying to build a capable state in order to recover from the pandemic, rebuild, and thrive into a better Johannesburg, we need men and women in the city who will make the city thrive, building a capable state. So therefore, what we then said was that we need to raise the ethical bar of the employees. We're strengthening the internal audit function. We're strengthening the compliance function. We're strengthening the risk management function. And of course, we're strengthening the group forensic and investigation unit. So we think that collectively and implementing what we seek to do, including internal control environment, will be able to have an ethical city, an ethical state, and a state that does not go into areas of malfeasance and all that.
You're strengthening capacity. One of the issues that you are mentioning, capacity of risk. Now, there's a conversation suggested there by Salga for municipalities to engage with the question of, one, the ethics test, but most importantly, the entrance exam for those who come into the various offices. What is your view on that, and is it something you are going to implement as part of your strengthening of capacity?
Yes, we are part of the South African Local Government Association, and we do support initiatives that seek to increase the capacity of the state. By the capacity, we mean that the effectiveness of employees, the skills of employees, the knowledge of employees. Not only that they don't have skills, but it might be that things are changing. We're moving to the fourth industrial revolution. The way we used to do things 30 years ago is different now. There are new technologies, so they need to keep up with the changes in society. As we employ young people into the city, which is our aim, to bring in a whole lot of new talent and young people in the city, they need to understand that this is the public service that seeks to change the lives of people, and we're not there for ourselves, but we are there for communities of Johannesburg.
You mentioned earlier on when you were coming in that part of also what you are saying in the State of the City address is that you want to disrupt the previous legacies that are refusing to transform. And in that score, you're saying the William Nicol name change is going ahead. Have you done extensive consultation on that? Are you expecting that to be challenged?
It's a council decision that we support fully. I know there's a party in government that is opposing to that, but I think that majority of parties represented in government including majority of South Africans, would, especially Joburg residents, would support the name change of the Nicol to Willima Dikizela Mandela Drive. And of course, as the leader of the city, I fully support that name change. And but we're still going through the necessary public consultation, and people are inputting their petitions out. The organizations that are supporting and the others are anti. But we do think that at the end of the day, the leadership of the city, as decision as the council, will carry the day and the name will be changed. But it's not the only thing that we're doing. This is just but one of the decisions that we're implementing of council. We are not disrupting the past only by changing the name. We have a growth and development strategy 2040, and this is the strategy that seeks to build a livable, a resilient, and a transformative Johannesburg into the future. So everything we do, everything we plan and we seek to do and seek to achieve livability, resilience, and sustainability in the city of Johannesburg. That's our transformation agenda.
Talk to me then about the question of potholes. I think it's one of the biggest issues in this year, particularly the roads in Johannesburg have not been really great. And considering also the instability that is currently at the JRA, this has been a big question on how you're going to fix that.
Yes, we did focus on stabilizing the Johannesburg Roads Agency. We were worried about issues of governance in the Johannesburg Roads Agency. We found when we were elected in December a very ailing organization. We've worked hard to stabilize it, and we have started in earnest as a JRA. I'm with them on the ground on the program that we are leading. We call it 120 days of accelerated service delivery. It's not only roads that we're dealing with, but open space management, stormwater, and other related visible service delivery issues. Now, JRA has worked hard. We started in Midrand and we went into the south of Johannesburg to start dealing in earnest with the potholes, with patching of roads, with the restatement of roads, but just to improve the conditions of roads and improve mobility in the city of Johannesburg. Now, last week we then agreed, as we approached and the private sector started lending a hand and extended the hand of assistance to us, to saying that, look, they want to work with us in improving the conditions of roads. So two insurance companies came together and we agreed with that partnership because we don't think that government alone can be able to solve the problems that are facing society, that are facing the city. So we accepted the partnership with the private sector as we partner with church-based organizations, with the private sector, as we partner with civil society, with NGOs in times of crisis or in any other time to improve the lives of our people. So potholes are being attacked. The one potholes is on, and we think it's a war that we will win.
We are, of course, worried a little bit currently in the province of Gauteng, including Johannesburg being mentioned there, in seeing a rise in COVID-19 infections in certain districts. Have we laxed in terms of our enforcement and in terms of our alertness? And is there something that we need to do there, Mayor, as a city?
No, certainly. We always had the highest infection rates of any city or district in Gauteng. So as this state wave is expected and the numbers are increasing, we are worried, but we have activated our jog again. Not that it was stopped. So we will be working with province in earnest to ensure that these non-pharmaceutical interventions are being adhered to. Our worry is that Alexander, Soweto, and other townships, the adherence levels to this COVID regulations is very low. So we're stepping up again, reminding people that level 1 does not mean that COVID is gone. People think that level 1 means COVID is gone. And with the opening up of churches and nightclubs and taverns, it poses a problem because congregate areas where people congregate on a continuous basis is an area of super spread. But we will be working with province. I think we're rolling up our sleeves while we do the 120 days we will be intensifying our anti-COVID-19 spread activities so that we can contain the spread of COVID-19. We are worried as a city of Johannesburg that this third wave might hit us hard.
Yeah. Speaking of Alexandra, the real issue is how do you expect people to social distance in such a small space, but not only that, without proper housing? How are you addressing that backlog?
The backlog of housing is actually throughout the city. There are dense areas, densely populated areas in the city. Diepsloot is one, Alex is another, Ivory Park is the other. So in areas of informality, we find that populations are living very, very close by together. But we are encouraging them to wear masks. We encourage them to do what they can, to wash their hands, to sanitize if they can. If social distancing is a bit of a difficult, wherever possible, please try and social distance. However, wearing a mask on a continuous basis is but one intervention that we support, and we will be encouraging communities to follow.
Makhubo, most importantly,
and then
yes. Are you looking to stand again for the next administration?
I think it's too early to determine. That I've not come to that decision. I'm still the current mayor, and I'm focused on solving the problems of the people and saving out the term of office. When the time comes, I think we can have that conversation.
Mayor Makhubo, appreciate your time, and thank you very much for joining us tonight here on the Newsfeed Late Night. That is the mayor
Thank you very much,
of the city of Johannesburg giving us the state of the city.